Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to what should be a very, very exciting event. This is Sony's State of Play for September 13th, 2022, going live in just under 20 minutes. My name is Brian Paul, this is Miles Dyer, okay, AJ, and Wes, of course, from all of their amazing respective channels. We could do long introductions, but hey, we're 3 minutes late, so we don't have time for that. Guys, I got to get this off my chest right away as we're gonna get the show started. Are you guys surprised by kind of the backlash that this showcase has gotten before it even started? A lot of people are just like, "This is bullshit. This is a 20-minute thing. Where's our showcase? Why aren't you doing a showcase? This is going to be nothing. Everyone's mad." What's Miles? What's the is that the reaction that you've been seeing? Is that the reaction that you have to this?
It's definitely a reaction I've been seeing. I've just been going in circles with sort of like what are the PlayStation, Sony mind games with their positioning, because it's like, they've got TGS coming up, which starts on a Thursday. Would they really do a show on the Thursday, and would it be a showcase? But then I was also thinking, this talk about, are they wanting to delay the announcement of PSVR2 because of inflation and the significance that can make over 6 months, or Meta have got their new headset coming out? But I did read reports the other day that this new Meta Pro is going to cost way over $1,000 because it is going to be a computer in itself, isn't it? You don't, it plays by itself. So my concerns of Sony wanting to wait for Meta to go first and then announce, I realised actually that's not the case, because these are completely different sort of parks they're playing in. So yeah, I'm very surprised. I still think a showcase is going to happen, but it might happen like November, December now.
Yeah. AJ, how you feeling about this? Are you pumped up? Are you ready to go? Do you think we're going to see a bunch of PSVR2?
I'm fucking ready, man. Let's do this shit. Okay, but let me be honest. I am going to set my expectations. Look, I like to get hyped. I get excited when there's any PlayStation VR 2 news, announcements, anything. I will be really, really excited to go. I am very hyped up about that. That being said, I do think you want to set your expectations accordingly. And, last time I prepared for the worst and we got a great show out of it. So once again, I'm just going to really keep my expectations low and hope to have a similar result.
That's a good point. Wes, as we saw on the June 2nd State of Play, if people are out there saying, man, State of Play, we shouldn't expect too much, this is probably going to be garbage. Wes, the last State of Play that we had, we saw a bunch of PSVR 2 games, I think 4 or 5, and with a lot of questions left at the end of it. Like, there's still a lot of questions they need to answer. And of course, Resident Evil 4 is a big question mark. Like, what the hell is going on with that? Do you think this could be a repeat of that, or do you think we should scale our expectations back even further?
It's kind of difficult to say. I think if there's one thing that has defined the Jim Ryan, Herman Hulst regime, if you will, is that there is no precedent. They're kind of making their own way this time around. So I really don't know what to expect. I think at worst, we should expect at least one new game announcement. I think at best, we see a sizzle reel with the release date and a price at the end of it. I don't think it's going to be a ton of news coming out of it, but I do think that there potentially could be some big announcements during this program.
Yeah,
Could I just say off the back of that, Brian, that when we're thinking about the announcement of the price, we kept talking about it should go into a showcase, because that's an opportunity to say, look at all these games that our PlayStation 5 fans love, and they're now also playable in VR, or that's the great chance to get more people into it. But, the counter argument to that is whenever they show VR stuff, you always get people going, oh, I don't care for VR. I just want more flat screen games. Yep. So maybe, depending on the offering, I think that's an argument that maybe Sony is going to announce the price today and it is just going to be done in a solid State of Play. And they are going to keep it separate from the showcase, which at a later point may show some VR games as well, but maybe to actually show the system and delve into that, they're like, no, we are just going to keep that at a State of Play. Because as we've said again and again in these conversations, the people that are going to be buying the first run of headsets are those that are looking forward to it already. Yep. So I think there's a good chance that we might actually see the headset today.
It's totally possible. We get Texatron, the Boopable Game Cat, ran with the $2 tip, says it's happening. Yes, it is.
It's happening.
And we
Guys,
don't know.
Cats, it's happening.
We don't know what's happening yet, but we're excited for whatever it might be. Joey VR with the $5 tip says hoping for Half-Life Alyx or GTA Online, but I bet it's Gran Turismo 7 in Hitman VR announced. Some interesting speculation. I like this.
Yeah. So they said that they're doing this to kick things off at Tokyo Game Show, that they're going to be featuring PS4, PS5, and PSVR2 games. So we know there's going to be something PSVR2. Yeah. But they said that they're going to be featuring Japanese partners, which obviously Capcom is the big presence that's at Tokyo Game Show, with Resident Evil Village being played on PlayStation VR2. I have to think that Capcom is going to be part of this with their Resident Evil Village. Yeah. If we're lucky, maybe Resident Evil 4, we get some more clarification on that. But here's the best part, is that they did leave a little room for more, saying that they're also going to have a few surprises from developers all around the world. So it's not just limited to their Japanese partners. I'm deep down inside there. I think there could be, like Wes kind of pointed out, there is potential here for a nice surprise or two, for sure.
I agree. I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of nice surprises. 20 minutes long, 10 different games. And the funny thing is, if you look around the internet today, a lot of, the insiders, people who seem to know something about something, are all like, keep your expectations low, keep your expectations in check. And I think that if you're a flat screen gamer, that is great advice. But I also think that's the kind of advice you give to flat screen gamers, because you go, there's probably going to be some VR stuff there. You're probably not going to care about that. And so I feel like for our audience, whenever you hear this kind of stuff, like about keep your expectations in check when it comes to a Sony showcase or a state of play, that it very well could be speaking to us, saying they keep their expectations in check. You guys, this might be something you've been waiting for.
Team Asobi. That's from Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Dude, Team Asobi, Polyphony Digital, potentials for Astrobot, for Gran Turismo 7. Again, I'm not going to expect those things, but holy shit, if they get announced or shown, I'm going to flip the fuck out.
We get Snacks, please, the Let's Go to Tokyo Hype Cat, I believe. It's so long that it gets cut off on my screen. $2 tip says, got my expectations. Good dog, bad dog, 2 levels. That's, I mean, I guess your expectations are pretty fucking low. Yeah.
Good dog, better dog, the sequel.
Magic the Game Cat with the €5 says, prediction, 2 new PSVR2 games, no release date or price yet, but a big showcase incoming within a few weeks. Great to see all the boys again. I love that he capitalized the boys as if we are the TV show on Amazon. I'm Homelander. Get over it.
That's interesting. They could frame the ending of this state of play saying we've got more to show, and then they announce a showcase. And even with the backlash, I mean, look, if this has been planned at 24 hours, but motion graphics people, they could easily tack something on the end, a card saying state of play,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that's the way to satisfy everybody, is just to be like, hey, we're giving you a taste. We know that you've been begging us for a showcase. So here's something just to kind of satiate your appetite while you wait. Here's something because we know you're desperate. And then they announce a showcase at the end of this. They say, October. People keep pointing to October 13th. Again, that would be perfect for a PlayStation VR 2 specific event, but that date means nothing to the people outside of the VR realm, right?
Do we also think we could see any? I can't remember where we are with the promotion of this game, but the Servius Aliens game. Is there?
There is no promotion.
Is it something we could see?
We've seen.
That's what I mean.
Far. Yeah, so that definitely.
But it is coming to PSVR 2, so we may see that. I don't know. Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Anything.
We got Mark Pringlesleaf with the £2 says, do you think we'll get to see some Gorn? Gorn.
I'm just after Sharknado, those haptics as the shark hits you in the head. It's going to be glorious.
Let me read.
It is a good point, though. Oh, good.
Let me read 3 more tips here, and so we can get caught up. Killer Artist won the Dreamweaver Game Cat with the $5 tips. I predict 4 new PSVR 2 games. We're up in the ante.
Oh my god!
These should be pizza bets, man. You guys should be betting each other because this is some fucking really, really intense predictions. 4 new PSVR 2 games, hoping for pre-orders, but I don't think there'll be pre-orders. But that will be probably during showcase, but heck, who knows with Sony. Bambino Ramos with the $5 tip says, let's hope this is the start of Sony opening things back up and communicating with us more about PSVR 2 instead of staying quiet for months on end. What are you shaking your... See, this is the thing, right?
Nope.
They have been quiet for a long time, but for the first time since the PlayStation 5 launch, and I definitely want to know if you guys agree with me on this, PlayStation 5s are finally in stock here in the United States, and I've been hearing from different little pockets of the world that we're not alone, that PS5s are easier to get in other parts of the world. It's not going to be universal, right? But that does mean that slowly this will spread, the supply will spread, and eventually everybody will be able to get one. This is the first time we're able to say that, hey, you can just go buy one right now if you're in the United States. You probably wouldn't take you more than an hour to find one. Probably
cost you a little bit more.
But it won't, though. That's the great thing, is that the scalpers are going out of business here because you can just get one for the retail price. And so this is the
I'm saying the retail price has gone up.
Oh, well, not here in the States.
out of all the weeks to take a dig at the UK, Brian.
You're right. This was the one. But this is the first time. This is the first time I think that it's okay for Sony to start talking more about the future of PlayStation 5, more about PlayStation VR 2, because the comments, if anybody in the comments says, well, what's the point? We can't even get a PlayStation 5. Everyone will just jump on them and go, yeah, you can. Here's a link to a place you can buy them right now. Right? This is when the messaging starts changing, and this is when it's time for Sony to start pushing their promotions. So we'll see. This could be the beginning.
I'd love to see that, but I mean, these guys have very much been riding the wave since they took their seats. And I've been trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, man, but it's been 3 years and they've barely said anything. Like they've let the games sell themselves, which I'm all for. But at some point they're going to start losing market share with this approach, I feel like. So hopefully today's the day that all changes. But I'm skeptical, to say the least.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think today that is that day. I think today is what they've clearly said, which is to kick off Tokyo Game Show. So they're still leaving plenty of room for surprises. But I don't think this is the dawn of a new era of PS5 marketing. Although, it's a state of play. They can really be whatever they want. They're not really limited to, doing smaller things anymore. Like you said, last time they kicked off the show with announcing Resident Evil 4 remake. And then they showed us 5 pretty big PlayStation VR 2 games, and that last state of play was really, really good. But state of plays have historically been pretty inconsistent, so there's no telling really which way. This could either work great in their favor, or it could somewhat backfire a little bit.
Who knows? I keep hearing that there's going to be a big AAA game announcement during this state of play. Really, I think the most that we could hope for is that we see some hybrid games today. I think that would be best case scenario, is that we see some really big bangers get announced, and then at the end of the trailer, also coming to PSVR 2. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, look, we've got a few minutes left. Mm-hmm. Anyone in the chat, all the game cats, just type right now, how many VR games are we going to see? Type those numbers. Let's see. All right. Because at the moment it seems to be 2 to 4 is.
What is
I think
your time at, by the way?
We got 3 minutes.
Mine's at 4:07. 4:05.
4:04.
Yeah. 3, 2.
Brian, you're at 3 something?
No.
I'm at 3:53.
Oh, you're a bit ahead.
1 second.
Lucky you. Oh, let's
look
look at that.
3:55, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, let me pause a little bit.
All right, I'm just trying to get this up so I'm gonna be able to hear the showcase with you guys.
Okay.
Because
someone says 10 games.
Well, all games. They're gonna
in
be
a sizzle
PS4,
reel,
PS5,
in a sizzle reel,
PS2
but new.
hybrid.
Yeah.
So somebody says half a game.
Half a game.
So I actually love the optimism, right? Because if you go over to the PlayStation blog and you see that the way they said it, they said here are games that will be on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PSVR 2. And so a lot of people read into that to say, oh, it's going to be 10 hybrid games and it's going to be cross-platform. That is some optimism, and I love it. I don't think that's the case, but I am hoping that a good chunk of these will be hybrid games. This could be the very first time that dream of mine from 6 years ago comes true, where Sony said, this PlayStation VR2 logo just pops up at the end of a lot of the trailers, and every game that you just saw is also playable in VR, PlayStation VR2, that kind of thing.
Never give up on the dream.
I mean, one day I got it, man. This is fucking getting old.
I think that dream is long dead, but that dream died years ago. But who knows? I don't know. There's as far as, like I said, Japanese games. There's Team Asobi, Polyphony Digital, Capcom. There's plenty of other studios as well out there that I'm sure are capable and of doing something. And then, as far as the non-Japanese partners, we've gotten hints of like that Alien game by Servios. That's a hybrid game that they were planning on showing at a recent like Gamescom or something that got pushed back. They delayed that. That would make for a good thing. People love the Alien franchise. Then there's also, we haven't seen Firewall gameplay yet, so. Those would be, I'm not really expecting those, but those would be nice surprises, I think.
Yep.
Agreed. Oh, I need to sign in. Are you kidding me?
I need to sign in. This is it. Backwards compatibility, please. I mean, that's something I think they would talk about on a blog post. That'd be a Sony thing. Like, yeah, it's a really good... Yeah.
We're used to them doing blog posts, so this is huge. This is a much, much bigger stage. This is the spotlight that we've wanted PSVR to be on. At the very least, include PSVR on a state of play, PSVR2. At the very least. So this is good.
I feel like we're going to get a price today.
All right.
I just have a feeling.
Feeling the price?
I do.
They did say we were going to get more games and price soon, so or no, I'm sorry, not price, release date. I don't think we'll get price yet, but that would be cool.
All right, guys, sorry to interrupt. We got a ton of tips to read in this last minute. Jennifer Blasphemy says, with the $5 tip, I don't care if it's crap. We get a morsel of VR in mere minutes. Great to see you all. Hello, fellow Gamecats. This is fun. You are fun. Hooray. Death Ringer Jr. What's up, dude? With the $2 tip, says much love from the juniors. Hope it's a good one. We got Sadukar, 7th Legion, with the £2. Manic Minor, PSVR. Make my dreams come true.
Make his name into a game.
Nibble,
please.
the Game Cat with the €5 says, just ignore this. You're in a hurry. Wow, that was perfect. Gatorade 23 with the $10 says, Far.2. Let's go. We got... Come on, where's the last tip? I know there's one more here. It comes.
12 seconds.
Okay, can you read the last tip then? Oh, Athenos Sakaris with the €20 says, thanks for being you. Here we go. Let's switch over.
3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Sound. No.
At least we know early on the VR symbol is going to be in the corner, right, for the games.
Tekken.
この世に存在するべきではない。
愚かだな。
With a new VR.
風間仁。Fight.
Tekken Jin Kazama versus Father's name.
I love Tekken. Like tag, which was PS3.
I don't remember which one it was. I was really
Tons of respect for Tekken.
So good. saying the volume on our voices is a bit quiet. Yeah, audio is loud. You're so quiet. That's saying.
It's official. Tekken 8 is coming to the
Stream over
PlayStation 5 console courtesy of
quite
our
a loud
battle-hardened friends
soundtrack
at
for that.
Bandai Namco Entertainment.
Here we go.
Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, this
Now,
is
let's
VR.
check in on 2 games
Yeah.
in development for PlayStation
This is cool.
VR2.
Interesting.
Already, I'm
better-
excited.
Yeah,
Space.
this is better than Better Immortal. This is better than Better
The story I was telling, it was about a certain droid repair tech who had no business getting into this kind of trouble. But there they were, standing against evil wherever it popped up.
I think there are a few new items on the shelves that might catch your eye.
The locals can be a little rough on tourists, but it's nothing you can't handle.
The first order on Batu. Surely we can count on you now.
Look like there's full locomotion, right? There it is.
Oh, hello, my friend.
Yeah, this is supposed to be pretty good. Enhanced edition. Good. 2023.
Resolution Demio.
PlayStation VR2. Demio!
Ready for battle. Let all monsters beware. My aim is true.
That's kind of
Taste my
this is
steel.
kind of what we've been expecting, right?
I call lightning!
PlayStation VR just happened.
So a couple of minutes in, we're already going to have at least 2 PSVR2 games shown.
Go back to the abyss.
Nothing I haven't played yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they're not going to just end on this.
I summon fire!
I was hoping for this game.
Demio brings the creativity and chaos of a tabletop RPG to PSVR2.
Ooh.
This next game is being
Echo the
rebuilt
dolphin,
from the
please.
ground up and will be available outside of
Echo the
Japan for
dolphin.
the first
Would
time.
love that.
Horror sense.
Rebuilt from the ground up.
I'm finally with you guys.
Welcome back, Brian.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you, buddy.
不思議な話もあったもんやな。時代を動かすはずの男が時代遅れの男に切られ死ぬ。しかもこの世に存在しないはずのもう一人の自分に切られることになるんやからな。なあ、坂本龍馬さんよ。
Love the music.
Every generation has a few hack and slash buttons,
Yakuza games I've never played, but I've heard nothing but amazing things.
What did that say for Star Wars? Was it in development for 2023? Is that what it said?
Ah.
right? Yeah, that's what it said.
Nice.
Hello, Madam Mason. I understand you have a shop to sell.
a British game?
I think you will
Harry
find
Potter.
my terms
Yeah,
quite
Star Wars.
generous.
What's the catch?
It's hard to tell because
You are
it always
wise
just looks
to
like
be wary.
regular Britain to
Why
me.
is your mistress selling the shop?
She has had rotten bad luck with the last few tenants.
VR really needs a
Those who came before you just could not seem to escape the darkness. Will you? Watch your step.
February 10th. PlayStation Quest. Ironwood.
You're like 3 seconds ahead of us, Swiss.
Oh, my bad. I'll pause it for a half second. There we go.
What is this?
Love the art style.
This looks nice and eerie.
It looks nice in VR to me.
It's kind of foggy.
Yeah.
I mean, the hybrid games they would just have without the VR2 thing, and then they'd throw it at the end. So they did that with the RE4, didn't they?
That's right.
Component analysis. Well, that looks like Destruction Derby or like.
Warning. An instability front is approaching. Take immediate shelter in a stabilized area. Locations impacted include sectors Delta and Echo.
Did I say double Derby? I'm sorry. I meant Interstate 76.
Looks cool.
Yeah, this is real cool.
Nice.
Another one? After all these years?
Interesting.
Caller.
With all that in car view, it just screams VR, doesn't it? Because it's really hard to play that view on a flat screen.
We should have a counter in the corner, so for every time we say this would be perfect in VR, bing. Just
like every game.
Right.
10.
Yeah.
Survive a ride from hell in Pacific Drive, the debut game from Ironwood Studio.
Oh, God.
Up next, let's check in on PlayStation
just
Stars,
gonna
a
watch
loyalty
the chat
program
grow.
rolling out soon.
Hey, we only
Hey,
got 20
Grace.
minutes. Why are we hanging out watching
Hi,
a loyalty
everyone.
program
I'm
commercial?
Grace Chen. Not long ago, we announced our brand new loyalty program called PlayStation Stars. It's
like
designed to
Marlboro
celebrate you,
Miles.
the players. It will be
For
free
video
to join
games.
PlayStation Stars.
It is, yeah.
As a member, you can complete various activities to earn points that can be redeemed for rewards. Digital collectibles are a highlight of the program. These are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans love. Today, I'm pleased to give you a sneak peek at some examples of our digital collectibles. Whether
I'm
it's
gonna
a
be able to
beloved
really
game
check
character
these things
or
out in the
cherished
metaverse
device
one
with
day.
innovative
Yeah,
design,
this is it. They would all look good in my PlayStation home.
I wonder if that PS3 is backwards compatible.
And I have more good news. PlayStation Stars will begin to roll out in some regions in Asia, starting in late September. It will launch in the Americas
Fair
and
play.
Europe in the
Short
weeks
and
that
sweet.
follow. That's it for now.
I think that's fine.
Check PlayStation blog to learn more about PlayStation
All right.
Stars.
Nice quote. That's true.
J Meow
Final
with
Fantasy.
the $1.99 tip. Firewall Ultra wasn't big enough for this garbage. Ouch.
着地成功。ジェネレーター出力異常なし。基礎巡航プログラム異常なし。おはようございます。今日もしっかりと稼ぎましょう。AO 採掘ポイント近いです。これはレアサイズのものです。高熱源体接近。データベースにない新種のエンダーズと思われます。所属不明機よりロックオン。緊急迎撃システム起動。標的ではありますが我々の本気を見せてあげま 高エネルギー反応。対象から攻撃来ます。
How many games have we been shown so far? We should have done a tally. 6, 7?
I don't know, 5 or 6. We'll call it 6.
Okay.
These next two intense
Like
action
exclusives.
games are PS5 console exclusives. Let's take a look.
Nice.
I like this.
그날은 갑자기
Unless
찾아왔지.
she's beard.
그놈들은 무자비했고 인간들은
Love to touch it with
무력했어.
haptics.
인류는 형편없이 무너져갔네.
자이오니아, 버려진 자들의 도시지. 전성기에는 10만 명 이상이 살았던 곳이야.
황무지 아래 건설한 도시라니. 여긴 무덤인 건가요?
아니, 이곳의 주민들은 에너지 고갈로 잠들어 있는 거야. 이대로 간다면 영원한 어둠뿐이지. 이봐, 우리를 도와줘.
조심해! 리스팅되지 않는 네이트고요.
Camera angle.
아담, 뒤로 물러나! 마더스피어는 절대적이야.
이 레거시는 믿을 수 없어요. 그렇죠? 그렇다고 말해줘요.
The comments.
여기 있는 누구나 그 손길이 닿은 적은 없어. 모두 버려진 것.
그건 신상 모독이에요.
릴리, 부탁해! 난 이러기 위해 태어난 거야!
이렇게 된 이상 나도 몰라요.
고용이의 천사여, 이번에는 우리를
Don't
구원할
worry,
수
we'll save your beard.
있겠는가?
Stellar Blade? Wait, they changed it from Project Eve to Stellar Blade?
Oh yeah.
They showed this before, didn't they? Yeah, because they announced Project Eve before.
Yeah.
Double dipping, Sony. Koei Tecmo. What do we got here? Come on, Dynasty Warriors 16. Let's go. I love Dynasty Warriors.
Eagle Flight.
It looks like Eagle Flight.
I mean, if we get Eagle Flight 2 that looks like this, I'd be alright.
It's set in 1863 Japan this time.
It's a prequel.
Team Ninja.
After 3 centuries of the Tokugawa's repressive rule, the Black Ships appeared without warning, and our nation began to tear itself apart. Those who cleave to the past,
Beautiful environment.
those who embrace the new, and the Ronin, a warrior free of all masters and bonds.
Oh, that's nice.
I will watch over you all as your blades carve a new future. Your time has come. Rise as one.
Looks
Yeah,
like
really
Pokemon.
short trailers. That shot to the face was awesome.
Experience an era of great change and upheaval in Rise of the Ronin, a sprawling action RPG from Team Ninja.
Ooh. Come on.
Before we wrap up, we've got
Astrobot.
one more update for you.
Yeah.
Is it Factions? Is it? I don't know. Oh, is it God of War? Yeah.
Got him here. They had to make the internet happy.
God of War. Controller.
PS5 edition. Woohoo. Oh.
Everyone keeps secrets.
Looking
Sometimes
forward
it's
to
the
this
only way
one
to protect the ones we
coming out,
love.
just so that they'll have to show something else. Like this has been the next big thing
Right.
forever.
I know you. God Killer. What is it you want from me? Is it a God of
I
War?
had someone
you came to
recently tell
find?
me that playing a God of War VR mod
You don't really want
was
war.
the best thing that they've ever done in VR. Haven't
All
tried
that
it yet,
blood
but
on your
I'm
hands,
hearing really good things about it.
on your son's hands.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
Valkyries.
You sure about
Such
that?
awesome boss fights.
Pretender God! For the old father!
Death can have me.
I never played the original God of Wars, but the God of War 2018 was it? Phenomenal game.
What do you even know of God's word? In your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause.
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary.
This is why Sony doesn't have to promote things, because they make games like this.
Yeah. Also coming to PSVR2.
That's what we make our own destiny.
Because the mod was so good for the first one. There we go.
And that's the show. God of War Ragnarok comes to
So-
PS5 and PS4 on November 9th.
I mean, look.
See you next time.
I thought it was going to go one of two ways. I thought they were going to either show a couple or they might do the full announcement with stuff like that. My first thought, because of this, is a showcase is coming. But I think it could be in November. I think it could be in December.
I'm not speculating about showcases anymore.
I know, right? I mean,
yeah, I'm so
come
sick
on.
of it.
I mean, it's the state. It's the state of play formula. It's I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Brian?
Disappointed, not surprised. I think that's a good way to say it. Also, if we saw this nonsense other than God of War in a showcase, I think everybody would be like, what's this doing here? Right? So, so I think there is a little aspect of this being Sony just trying to get it out of the way and being like, hey, we got a bunch of stuff to show you. Here you go. And keep it out of a showcase. I think we lucked out big time when it came to the last State of Play. when we got like Resident Evil 4 remake announced, and we got all these PSVR2, like bigger PSVR2 games announced. Kicking it off with two, I mean, essentially Quest 2 ports, I think was it's a pretty rough look for PSVR2. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this definitely seemed like it was done as just a way to show a God of War reveal. Like the God of War thing to me is the only thing that seemed like in touch with the fans here. That being said, I'm excited about Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. We'll have to see what that means. And Demeo, both of which I've heard great things about. Especially Demeo is a game that definitely I would probably enjoy.
It's fun.
But this is what I've kind of come to expect with them and them being kind of out of touch sometimes. I mean, something like Firewall, if Firewall actually has gameplay ready, and that's something that people that aren't already interested in VR would go, whoa, what is that? If they got to see that in action. But that was used in a PS blog. And then this was, now they show, like you said, 2 Quest ports, which does take away a lot of the excitement from the announcement for me personally, because these games have been out for like 2 years or something.
Yeah, I think the right way to handle this would have been like in a sizzle reel, right? Show us 20 Quest ports that are all coming to PSVR 2, because I've been wondering, is Sony going to want to hold these things back? Are they going to want to say, hey, PSVR 2 isn't about this. PSVR 2 is about AAA hybrid style games, and then like after a couple months, allow a flood of Quest 2 ports or PC VR ports to come in, and it seems like that's just not going to be the case. I mean, sort of good in a certain way, because I was hoping that at launch we would just have a flood of games. If you've been wanting to play something for a while and you haven't bought a Quest 2 or PC VR, hey, maybe it'll be there at the launch of PSVR 2, but. It's definitely it was not a way to get people excited for PSVR 2 to say these games that have been out for a year or longer on other platforms, look, they're coming to our platform. It's terrible. It's a terrible look.
Yeah. It certainly it makes you think about that 20 number a little differently now, doesn't it? Because I mean these are pretty big games. I mean Star Wars, that's a huge franchise. So this could be 2 of the 20 for all we know.
It's true.
And let me be clear, like Demeo is a great game, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is really good as well. But it's kind of hard not to walk away from this feeling like they just threw us a bone, right? Just so they could say there was some PSVR 2 on the show, they threw a couple of ports at us. So.
I mean, look, I'm actually coming away from this feeling optimistic, or looking at having an optimistic take from this, and it's the fact that because they didn't show Firewall stuff that was shown just the other day, because they haven't shown these other titles that we know there's more to show, it means it's still yet to be shown. And so for me, it's like there is this positioning going on where, look, they're going to have to reveal the price and pre-orders and stuff like that. And when have they done that? They've done that with the PS5. It was done in a showcase. And I'm kind of like, it would have been amazing if they'd done it today in a state of play, but because they haven't, it means it's still yet to come, and it means we still have something to look forward to. However, I don't want to take away. I totally understand why people will be feeling disappointed and bruised by this. But I'm just like, the goalpost of when PSVR 2 is coming out, that sort of area, that hasn't changed. We're still moving towards it. And Sony are going to have to make a big announcement sooner or later. So, if this is biding their time, this also doesn't rule out the possibility that a showcase could still happen in September after this weekend event has taken place. Obviously, we've had D23 and all these other events happening recently. I'm not saying it's a prediction that it is going to happen in September. It could be kicked back. But I definitely think that it makes me excited to know what is still yet to come, even if there is that frustration of, it would have been nice if it was today.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Go ahead, Wes.
No, I was just going to say that's the thing. They've been really good about building anticipation through silence, but at some point, the anticipation starts to become frustration, and I kind of feel like that's where we're getting now. Like I'm tired of being on the edge of my seat. Like, I'd rather just fall off at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I've been a staunch defender of Sony, saying we haven't given them a chance. Now that PlayStation 5s are out in the wild and people are able to buy them a lot easier, then like that. Now it's time for them to really hit the ground running and show us what they're made of and show us what this new regime is capable of doing. I would have preferred nothing today. Right?
Yeah.
And just instead of doing this, why not be like, hey, here's 20 minutes of God of War Ragnarok footage? Because I think that's what everybody walked away from this going, oh, cool, Ragnarok looks good. That's thankfully. Right? So just do that instead. Why nickel and dime us with all these smaller titles that, I mean, I would love to speak for everybody, but I'm not going to. The chat spoke for everybody. Right? The chat was underwhelmed the entire time. Only on occasion did I see somebody go, oh, this looks cool. But for the most part, everyone was just like horribly underwhelmed. I'd rather
the God of War thing at the end feels like completely late. That was something that was expected like 2 or 3 state of plays ago from the people screaming about God of War.
Yeah.
Like it feels like people weren't screaming about God of War for this one. Every state of play, God of War. Oh, I want to see God of War, and like I didn't see in the main PlayStation chat. They were talking about Spider-Man 2 and all this sort of stuff. So people already moved on, and now they've done it.
Yeah.
There definitely feels odd timing. But the other thing I'd say, and this is not a defense of Sony. This is just kind of to put in perspective the amount of time we've been waiting for PSVR2 and news. It's been a long couple of years. But this talk about becoming impatient and being messed about. We were having these conversations about a year ago because of a lot of other missteps they've made. So again, this isn't excusing it. I have a lot of frustration with it too. But unfortunately, Sony are in a place where they can just do whatever the F they want, and we're slaves because we just want to. We're going to buy it. We're suckers, and so they're like, Jim Ryan is there right now at his desk going, yes, make him wait a little longer.
This state of play was all about God of War. That's what they didn't give a shit what they did because they were like, we're just going to show God of War, and that's what most people want to see anyways. So, yeah, little underwhelming to say the least, especially compared to last time getting such great announcements. And then, there's a bunch of stuff that's in the works. And the dead silence that didn't feel like that was worth waiting 2 months to see 2 quest ports get that are kind of a little bit last gen looking.
Absolutely last gen.
Yeah, I mean they're great, even if they're great games, which I'm like I said, I'm really excited to play both, but yeah, it's not why I'm not. The Quest ports are probably the least thing I'm excited for when it comes to PlayStation VR 2. I want to do something, have experiences, have games that are unique to Sony PlayStation brand. And that's why I play on PlayStation, because I like the games. The Demio is pretty cool, but it is a tabletop game. It's kind of a niche thing. The Star Wars thing, popular IP, it'll probably sell a bunch, but a lot of people have already played it. I mean, more people probably in VR have played it than have not at this point. So,
hey, let's tackle a few tips here, guys, before we get too far into this. Alex Kazan with the $2 tip says, nothing says go get a PSVR 2. Disappointed. Genetic Blasphemy, the Crocolo, definitely abbreviated even further. With the $2 tip says, the PSVR 2 trickle vlogs are going to be great. Ultimate Carnage, the Game Cat, with the $4.50 says, hi guys, just been watching paint dry. Was better than this state of play. Just been watching paint dry. It was better than this state of play. See, I can read, I promise. Belrami with the Game Cat with the €2 says, can we send the Quest ports back to Zuckerberg? Alex Zan with the $5 says, I understand we got a while until PSVR 2 comes out, but I don't see the hype in it as of now, where the AAA games that people keep talking about. Now, before we keep moving on, where are the AAA games for PSVR 2? This state of play, what this really did more than anything was convince me that we have 2 events on the way for PSVR 2. Right? I think we're going to see a good chunk during a showcase, and there's got to be a dedicated PSVR 2 event at this point. And I do think, I don't know why it was, I don't know what it was about the way they delivered all these games today, but it really made me go, okay, there's going to be a showcase probably next month, and then a PSVR 2 specific event where they're going to reveal the price and release date and pre-orders go live. It just I think that's what they're doing. I really hope that's what they're doing, because otherwise the message is pretty dire.
Well, Brian, a good way to not sell PSVR 2s. Let me put it that way.
Well, I was going to say, Brian, the only other choice to what you suggest is they just don't announce PSVR 2 and it just comes out.
It's just going to launch. It's just going to fucking launch on shelves, and people are going to be like, what is that? Oh, it's out, and it's going to have the price. That's their fucking strategy at this point. Ugh.
I mean,
Brian's going to do a PSVR this week, and it'll be like, guys, there are reports that they're on the shelves, so go out and get them.
Yep, you're going to find out from a breaking news report or a PS blog.
Yeah.
No, I have complete faith. This is not the end of that. I feel like you can't spend years of R&D and hundreds of millions of dollars releasing this new device and getting developers on board, and then just not say anything about it, not leading up to launch. Like, it's got to happen. This just wasn't it. But my issue with this is that they just should have done nothing. PSVR 2 should not have been included with this. That's all, because it just makes it look
They haven't shown enough. The reason is because they haven't shown enough PlayStation VR 2. Showing Demio and this game is fine, but there's a time and a place for it.
Yeah.
And when we are still like starving for games, announcements, all sorts of stuff, we haven't been shown enough of PlayStation VR 2 yet to get away with some smaller little titles. It's just we haven't been shown enough yet. So
yeah,
it was too early. This was a very premature announcement for these things.
It would have been fine during the last State of Play, after we saw the update to No Man's Sky and Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Village and Saints and Sinners. After that, it would have been cool to be like, oh, and there's these Quest games coming as well. You're right. The time wasn't now for this. Jamie out with the $2 tip says all the State of Play did was play into a bad VR narrative.
Well, I'm sure a couple people, most people that saw those two games probably didn't give a shit, because even the Star Wars game, the tabletop is a hard sell unless you are already like into VR, like invested in VR and into it and everything. And if you are, you probably already have the game on Quest. But the Star Wars thing, I mean, that's more of like an experience than it is like a game-ass game. If it was like a really action-heavy, like what is it, Jedi Fallen Order or KOTOR, something epic like that, like really next-gen looking, it'd be one thing. But this is another limited kind of experience-style game that is just the Star Wars IP. So, look, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right?
Sizzle reel of 20 games, 20 Quest games, or PC VR games that are all coming to PlayStation VR 2 after showing us or before showing us some like AAA exclusives would be perfect. Like, like from outside the world of PlayStation, these VR games are also coming to PSVR 2. It would have been a great way to be like, hey, if you feel like you missed out on some games that happened over the last couple of years, don't worry. You're going to have your hands on those soon enough. It would have been there's much better ways to message this, and I just don't think they did it right. Belrami the Game Cat with the €5 says, because I left to watch on my own, but Ishin, Ronin, Project Eve, Tekken 8, all great games I look forward to. Just VR sucks big time. That's the other side of the coin here, right? Is that there's absolutely a ton of people out there. I saw Sonic being excited about was it Project Eve, whatever they changed that to. There's a lot of people out there who are excited for what they showed today. So, from in the non-VR world, I think that there's like, oh, cool, look at these games that I'm probably going to buy. It's a cool, nice little update.
And also, and for anyone feeling disappointed, look, we were saying this just before we went live, you could have been watching this by yourself and been disappointed by yourself, but instead you get to be disappointed with us. Solidarity. What better way to be disappointed than with each other? So
instead of being disappointed by yourself, you get to watch us be disappointed too.
Yeah, and go, oh, okay, we're not as disappointed as them. Yeah, that's good.
Old Darth PSVR 2 Gaming Hound Dog with a Canadian $2 tip says, I'm leaning more toward a PSVR 2 only showcase now. What do you guys think? Is that going to be a
showcase? Well, I mean, State of Play, yes, but the showcase will be a mix with the hybrid game stuff. What about you, Wes?
Well, if I can force a little enthusiasm here with some baseless speculation, I will point out that PSVR's birthday is around a month from now.
Yep.
that would be a great time to have a state of play or a showcase, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to be a great state of play that's on the Quest channel. I agree.
I'm with you, Wes. I think we said before the show, I think it's that the anniversary, October 13th, doesn't really mean a lot to the rest of the gaming world out there. But for us VR gamers, that's a big day. And for them to do a special showcase, a special PSVR2 event on that day to celebrate their history, that feels good to me. That feels really, really good to me. And
that would be the right way to do it. But
do you know what
they're going to do that?
And do you know what day it is? Which is going to be flattened a bit by the sort of stepping aside from it today, but it's on a Thursday.
How convenient.
How convenient. Which they've completely messed up with this week's one.
Daniel Brown with $10 tip says, disappointing. They must have something absolutely mind-blowing to show us soon. Yeah. They better.
I don't think there's I don't know. They don't strike me as this, we have a plan thing. They, some secret thing like this is going to be awesome. They kind of just do things, and
somebody clip this.
And there's a lot of awesome in that process. Throughout the years, even during the PSVR lifespan, we had tons of games, but we had tons of amazing games, but they weren't always the ones that were marketed well. You got to when it comes to PlayStation, you got to let the games just speak for themselves, and that's what we're here for. It is to help shed light on the games that really deserve the spotlight, and
Well, I've said it 1,000 times, but I'll say it once more. So there's no way Sony was happy with the sales of PSVR 1. Period. Even for an early VR headset, I'm sure they were hoping for a much higher sales figure. You don't sit back and repeat the same process with PSVR 2. You don't go into it with the same outlook and with the same ideas for advertising and the same ideas to tell people about your amazing games and about your amazing headset. You've got to come up with a different strategy, or why do it at all? They're not going to be happy with 6 million units sold for PSVR 2, and so they're not going to go into this with the same mindset that they had with PSVR 1. Why would they even bother doing it if they're not going to support it, if they're not going to promote it? And I think we have yet to see what their plan is. Hopefully.
They've got to get this thing on people's face, man.
I do think they're going to eventually kick into gear. I do think they're going to eventually kick things into gear, but I just think we're a long ways out. I think that we're far out from that happening. But I really hope I'm wrong here.
We got GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat, with a $10 tip, says, thank you all for helping make this state of play suck.
A little less.
Just a little bit less. The Novatones. Is that a band? Or is that a family? I don't know. Either way, you're an awesome band or you're an awesome family. With the $5 says, should have saved Firewall rather than show these. Much love from the band. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus. I should have read the tip before I started reading the tip. Much love from the band that made the Drunken Bar Fight soundtrack. Keep up the good work, gents. Thank you, Novatones. I appreciate that. I agree with it. I absolutely agree.
Firewall definitely deserved to be here. This is the kind of shit they've done forever that fucking pisses me the hell off. All the stuff that look really great for these kinds of showcases and stuff. They always leave those to PS blogs. What the fuck are you doing, Sony? Firewall should have been here in this showcase. Absolutely.
Does this mean? You go first, Wes.
I'm sorry. Do you think it's a certainty that the Firewall Ultra is going to be an exclusive? There's no aim controller to kind of hold it to the platform this time around. That might not be something that Sony has paid for at this point.
They've already said it's a PlayStation VR2 exclusive.
They've said it's exclusive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Sony does own the Fire Name IP.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you.
So from that last tip, does that mean that Drunken Bar Fight 2 is coming? Is that what we should conclude from that, maybe? Have you Novatones, have you been working on any new music lately, by any chance? Of the drunken variety?
The better question is from Awesome Tatum with the $5 tip, says, it is interesting to think with a Quest Connect event on the 11th of October, then Sony pulls a 13th of October PSVR2 state of play /showcase/event to steal some thunder. Absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. I've been the thing is I've been looping this in my head for whatever reason. I'm so stuck on the idea that they have to show PSVR2 during a showcase so that all these flat screen gamers' eyes are on it. But they don't really need to do that, right? What they really need to do is just get out there with a huge marketing push, and I do think that doing this 2 days after the Quest Connect event would be absolutely perfect. Novatone say, haha, cool. I can't say anything. I think that's saying something, isn't it?
Oh, we can't say anything. There we go.
Yeah.
Cannot confirm nor deny, which means they can't deny, which is a confirmation, effectively. Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I mean, like trying to extract the positivity from what we did see with Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy Edge and Demeo, both good games. Do you think that we're just going to see a massive amount of ports on day one on PSVR 2?
Day one, maybe not a massive amount, but I'm sure there will be quite a few. These independent VR studios have the ones that were successful are really doing a lot to broaden their horizons these days. So I would say, the usual suspects for sure will be within the launch window.
Yeah. AJ?
I think it'll be a mixture. We know for a fact that there's a lot of indie games coming to PlayStation VR 2, most likely at launch. Stuff like Ragnarok, stuff like Star Tenders. So it should be a mixture. I mean, we've already got 4 or 5 games announced that are pretty big. So I'm not complaining about the launch lineup or the games. Like, I'm fine with the games. I'm fine with what's probably going to come out at launch, probably like Horizon, Saints and Sinners 2, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil Village. I expect these to be launch titles, and that's a big deal. And then there'll probably be a mixture of other stuff as well. Could be maybe this Samurai Slaughterhouse, a lot of indie games. My problem is with the marketing.
Yep. The
marketing is the problem, not the product.
Of course, it's annoying that there's a huge back catalog of games that could be re-released, but in VR. So silly. I think there's a huge back catalog of non-PSVR games that could be remastered, re-released on PSVR 2. There's a ton of solid games from the PS3, PS4 era that could absolutely get the hybrid treatment. So I think it's going to take a little while to get there fully, but I'd really like to see a really strong launch and enough titles to hold us over until like the rest of the industry catches up and decides to make these ports and bring all these old flat screen games into VR. But I agree, Offcore, it is annoying. We've been asking for an official BioShock VR for what seems like 6 years forever. Now.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, Brian. I mean, in terms of the ports, I think that in the launch window, not necessarily at launch, I think we're going to see a lot. And I've mentioned it on previous shows about the fact that when you have something that has been made for PC VR, and you've now got a new headset coming out, which is going to have a lot of buzz behind it, you're going to want to capitalize on that. When people are first on there and looking at what games to download, you want to get your game there because that's the best chance of getting onto charts. And, if you're ever thinking of doing it, that's when you're going to want to do it, is right at the start. Because we saw very quickly with PlayStation VR how saturated the game list became, very quickly. And it meant that when new games came out, if they didn't really strike it hot from the get-go, then they very quickly, drown with it all. Which is why Swordsman, for example, has been a remarkable success, always staying in the charts because they keep updating and keep rolling on it. But that's not a common thing for a lot of VR games.
Pietrek F with the 9 plantains says on NeoGAF, people wonder why VR2 games look like PS2 games. I think if you were only looking at the state of play, then the answer is easy, right? PSVR2 games look like PS2 games because these are Quest ports, and yeah, it's fine.
That was probably Quest footage,
It's possible.
Was that even PSVR2 footage?
I don't know. But but if you take a look at Horizon Call of the Mountain or Village, I think you start seeing like what it's really capable of, and seeing games that look like current gen PS5 games. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that as we get closer to launch. So, NeoGaf, sorry that you're not keeping up. MRI Gamer with the $5 tip says, y'all don't know what waiting is. I'm still waiting on Half-Life 3. It's true.
Respect.
Guys, this was certainly a showcase. No, this was certainly
was a showcase.
This was certainly not a showcase. I guess I should have said. I was going to say
it was a great God of War showcase.
Was it even that?
It was an absolute state.
Yeah. But hopefully, guys, hopefully things will start ramping up. Hopefully Sony will start firing on all cylinders soon. And as we get closer and closer to PSVR2, as we get closer to the anniversary, obviously they're going to have to open pre-orders before the holiday season, which is mere minutes away. They're going to have to which means they're going to have to reveal a price and a specific release date. And so I don't think that happens. I mean, I was going to say, I don't think that happens on a PlayStation blog post. It very well may happen on a PlayStation blog post, but I would go to bat for a PlayStation VR2 specific event. This is a new peripheral. It's top of the line. It's something that they've bet a lot on, and I don't think they want to see it go down in flames. So hopefully, you guys, as we get closer to launch, we'll see a little bit more of what we're looking for from Sony. That said, guys,
get your shit together, Sony. Sorry.
That said, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Wes. Obviously, we'll be doing this again, hopefully pretty soon, whenever they have something else to show us. But please, everyone out there, try to keep the excitement level up. Try to stay positive. Try to stay happy. And I'm sure there'll be more news before we know it, whether it be in blog form or video form. We'll be here to take care of you. All right, you guys. Thank you to everybody who hung out during the showcase and everybody who tipped in the chat. We love you all. And, of course, everybody sat back and say a goddamn word. We know you're out there and we love you just as much. Adios, everybody.
Bye.
Much love.